gurus are literally faking their sales call videos, and it has never been more scammy and more embarrassing. Now, the reason they are doing this is because they want to be seen as though they are actually running the business that they want to teach you about. They want to look like they're running the business that they teach you about. But I think that's very immoral and very scammy, because for most of you watching, if you see somebody close a client, get paid, right? If you see somebody get paid, then instantly you build so much trust, right? And it's normal to do so, you know? Like, if I saw somebody get paid and they told me about their business model, I would be like, yeah, that works. That's amazing, man. Good for you. But gurus are going to the extent of faking those trust building videos, faking them, fake prospect, blurred face, voice changer, just to teach you that what they're teaching works, to tell you that what they're teaching works. So ultimately you can buy whatever they have to sell you, which in and of itself doesn't work, because they had to fake a sales call to sell what they sell, which means that what they are teaching you doesn't work. And so the biggest scam, which is going to come around, it's already been around, but it's going to come even harder in 2026, is selling AI receptionists or AI automations, right? It is just a massive, shiny object that's coming around that isn't actually a necessity for businesses. And it's crazy because I kind of fell for it myself, right? Thinking that selling a simple receptionist would make me a lot of money. I got my AI developer, everything locked in, started trying to sell these receptionists, and nobody flipping needed it. The more I hopped on calls with, like, my niche is construction and car rental, the more I hopped on calls with these people in my niche, the more I realized they didn't need receptionists. They didn't need AI automations, right? They need more customers, more inquiries, and they need a system to get those customers, those inquiries, and then they need a system like AI to actually contact those people who come in from the ad or from the content, to contact those people within the first minute, because the actual client is too busy to do so. That's what they need. They don't need a receptionist. Guys, you need to understand that there's two types of businesses, right? Business A, business B. Business A is the business who doesn't have any customers coming through the door. They maybe get 3 phone calls a day, 3 to 5 phone calls a day. They can easily take the calls, and it's not really a massive, you know, pile of money that they're missing out on, right? That is essentially 90% of the businesses. And then business B is the business who already has good content, good ads, and they actually just need the AIs to actually convert those leads and that traffic that's coming through with AI, right? Because they don't have enough time to get through to everyone. So what happens is you're trying to sell the service, you're trying to sell like the business B service, which is just the AI receptionist and stuff, to a business that is like business A, who doesn't even have customers coming through. So what happens is you're selling this unnecessary thing, which looks good, it's a shiny object. But then what happens if you manage to sell one, let's say for 2K, right? 3K receptionist. The client realized he doesn't need it. He's going to ask for a refund. And then you're going to be like, you'd already have spent the money that he paid you. So it's like, okay, cool. Now you're in a flipping rut. You're in debt. Doesn't make sense. You're not providing any real value. You understand it's not real valuable. So you don't even want to sell it that much, because in the bottom of your heart, you know it's not even that much value. This is what's keeping you stuck. This is what is preventing you from actually scaling and building the business that you know you need to build. Now guys, the recipe for a real business is to have conviction and confidence behind what you're selling. So when I approach these businesses who I know they need more customers, I know I can get them more customers. I know my AI systems are actually useful, and I'm confident in my service, charging money for it. And so I even uploaded my own live sales call to show you guys. I don't even take the calls for my agency, right? I got a closer who takes all my sales calls, right? I told him, let me take the calls for the day, you know, see what we can get out of it. Hopefully we close a deal. We'll follow the framework that you use. And then we followed it. We closed the client. He paid on the call. And I posted it on YouTube to show you what a real flipping sales call looks like. Not what these fake gurus are trying to show you, which is a massive shame, because it's easy to fall for stuff like that, like a live sales call, you know, which is fake. It's easy to fall for something like that. So I don't blame you guys for it, but I'm here to prevent you guys from going into stuff like that or buying from people like that who you know are dodgy and shady, as opposed to someone who you know is actually legit. They know what they're talking about, and you know, they're not trying to sell you the next shiny object. So the business that you should really be implementing is helping businesses bring more customers, like bringing in leads, traffic, and then having AI basically speak to those people, book them in for quotes or bookings, whatever niche you're targeting, right? That's a real valuable system because you're bringing customers, the AI is dealing with it, and then track it all on software, right? And that's exactly what I'm doing, exactly what my students are doing, and it's exactly what's gotten us the results that we're getting. I myself making consistently over 20K per month at 17. I've had 2 students crack 15K months, George and Dev. I've got interviews with both of them in the channel, which you can go and watch about how they scaled. And I've made a full breakdown video on how you can get started and the steps you need to take to basically build this type of business, which is really valuable. And so those are going to be in the description below. So make sure you go watch that. If you want to book a call to work one-to-one with myself, use my system, supports accountability, then go ahead and book a call. Second link in the description. If you just have a question you want to ask me, then go ahead to my Instagram in the description as well. Shoot me a DM and I'll be there to respond. That being said, please don't fall for the scam. And I had to speak on this because it's really messing up the industry. Peace.